Born in Armidale, New South Wales, George Robert Duncan was a young brave soldier who died honourably during the Battle of Fromelles at only 19 years old. He grew up in Newland Street, Waverley with his parents Watson Cranston and Frances Adelaide Duncan, as well as 3 younger siblings. George was educated at Waverley Public School, later attending Sydney High School where he served in cadets for 6 years. George Duncan enlisted at the age of 18 on the 2nd of October 1915 after being handed a white feather which symbolised cowardice whilst in church. He soon sailed to Egypt on the 20th of April 1916, joining the 55th Battalion on the Western Front. Whilst in Egypt, George fell ill and was hospitalised, but he wrote to his family that he was fine and uninjured to reassure them of his safety and to not raise morale back at home. In June 1916, he crossed to France, serving as a private in Fromelles in the 59th Battalion of the 15th Brigade, until he was killed in action during the Battle of Fromelles on the 19th of July 1916. When George Duncan arrived in Fromelles, he loved it there, and expressed that in one of his letters home. He wrote home to his mother and father. France is a beautiful place, a regular paradise after the burning sands and heat of the Egyptian desert. He stayed optimistic before the war, kept his faith in God and love in his family. More of his personal experiences in Fromelles were expressed through diary entries and letters. According to evidence from Duncan's letters, guns, artillery, aircraft and trench warfare were all used in the Battle of Fromelles, but I've still got plenty left in me to shoot a couple of Germans if they show themselves. The main form of communication during the Fromelles was mail. George sent numerous long letters to his mother, father, and his church rector. As the battle drew closer, George began to realize that he would most likely not be returning home due to the severity of the war, and he wrote to his mother saying, "There is no reason whatever why I shouldn't go right through the ordeal and come back and I'll see you again. Now I can only in imagination." Men's health drastically deteriorated during the war, experiencing extremely poor and unhygienic living conditions in trenches. George and the 59th Battalion were practically wiped out after going about 460 metres to go over no man's land, where he was believed to have died near the enemy's line after being shot by German machine guns. George's family suffered a great deal of grief after his death, continuing to try and find out what happened to him in the years following. Almost 5 years after George's death in 1921, his father wrote, "Our loss was a severe one, but the knowledge that the sacrifice he made is appreciated by those he held in high esteem brings comfort to us. We were proud of him when alive, and we are proud of him in death. He did his duty." George Duncan's body has still not been identified, but he could well be among those recovered after the war and buried at the VC Corner Cemetery. And we hope that he will be put to rest soon. He was and forever will be a brave, compassionate soldier.